Some people drain your energy not through noise, but through silence. You feel uneasy around them, yet can't explain why. You think you're helping, being mature, understanding, empathetic, but deep down, you're being consumed by a struggle that isn't yours. The most dangerous people aren't loud or malicious. They're unaware of the darkness they carry and they pass it on to you. Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we explore 6 dangerous personality types you must avoid, not because they're evil, but because their unconscious pain seeps into your life, unnoticed. You believe you know who to avoid: loud manipulators, overt liars, those who disrespect boundaries. But true danger wears a mask. It smiles. It's kind. Sometimes, it's family. Sometimes, it's the person who calls you friend. While you focus on protecting yourself from external threats, you may be unaware of the emotional weight quietly invading your inner world. That invasion often comes not from conscious malice but unconscious chaos. The ancient Stoics taught that we must know what is within our control and what is not. But how can you know what belongs to you when someone else's hidden pain is stitched into your thoughts, your guilt, your emotional reactions? Let's begin with the first type. 1. The unconscious manipulator. This person doesn't set out to hurt you, but they're emotionally wounded deeply and unaware of it. Instead of confronting their pain, they project it onto others, onto you. They're not always aggressive. In fact, they're often sensitive, charming, even fragile. You start to feel responsible for their emotions. If they're angry, you must have triggered it. If they're sad, it's your fault. If they feel small, it's because you made them feel that way. You begin to ask, am I being insensitive? Did I say something wrong? Am I toxic? No, but they've pulled you into a silent game where you're no longer a person. You're a mirror reflecting everything they refuse to confront. The Stoics warned us, you can't control another's suffering, but you can control whether you make it your burden. Recognize when compassion becomes entrapment. 2. The bearer of the persona. On the surface, they seem perfect. Always composed, always polite, impeccable in their words and appearance. But something feels off. It's as if every moment is a performance. These individuals are not just wearing a mask, they believe they are the mask. They've abandoned their true selves in favor of a role that society praises. Behind the curtain of calm lies a soul suffocating in silence. Living with someone like this is disorienting. You start doubting your own authenticity. You begin to filter your words, mute your emotions, and adjust to fit their ideal world. Why is this dangerous? Because when someone demands perfection, spontaneity dies. And when truth is suppressed, it eventually erupts in the form of resentment, guilt, or even rage. The Stoics would say, live according to nature, which includes imperfection, spontaneity, and truth. Beware those who deny this, for they will deny it in you too. 3. The owner of the repressed shadow. There's a type of person who appears composed until they're not. They repress all uncomfortable emotions: anger, jealousy, desire, and act as though they've transcended human flaws. But what's buried doesn't disappear. It festers. Eventually, the shadow breaks through, and when it does, it's brutal. Explosive rage over small mistakes, deep grudges, passive-aggressive sabotage. They become emotional landmines. You never know what might set them off. And here's the danger. They often hold positions of admiration. They're disciplined, strong, or morally upright. But their intolerance toward imperfection in others is a projection of what they can't tolerate in themselves. As a Stoic, you must confront your own darkness, not deny it. Because the shadow you refuse to own will rule you and destroy those around you. 4. The moral controller. This person claims to live by righteousness. They preach virtue, judge others, and speak as though they are the standard of what is good. But in truth, they're using morality as a mask to avoid facing their own inner conflicts. They're not correcting, they're controlling. Their criticism comes dressed in care, Their guilt tripping is disguised as advice. They don't see nuance. You're either good or bad, with no room in between. This creates a prison of shame. You begin to suppress your natural impulses, afraid of being judged. You lose touch with your own moral compass and start living by theirs. The Stoic path is one of internal governance, not external approval. Be cautious of those who disguise judgment as virtue. They are often blind to their own hypocrisy. 5. The complex individual. One moment, they're loving. The next, they're cold, angry, or accusatory. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. Their reactions are not based on the present, but on unresolved traumas from the past. They don't respond to you, they react to old wounds. A compliment becomes a threat. A joke becomes an attack. You are not in a relationship with them, you're in a relationship with their history. What makes this so confusing is that they're not always toxic. There are moments of real connection, but those moments are unpredictable, surrounded by chaos. And in the name of keeping the peace, you shrink, you adapt, you become someone you're not. The Stoics would ask, is this chaos within your control? If not, why sacrifice your stability for someone who refuses to find theirs? 6. The psychic vampire. They don't scream. They don't blame. They simply drain. Slowly, gently, consistently. They need you all the time, your attention, your empathy, your presence. They make you feel guilty for wanting space, selfish for needing silence, cold for setting boundaries. But behind the neediness is a void only they can fill. You start feeling like a caretaker of their emotional world, and you lose track of your own. They don't want growth. They want to be carried. And you, thinking you're strong, allow yourself to be drained day by day until your vitality is gone. The Stoic path teaches, protect your energy as you would your character. You owe others kindness, not your soul. Perhaps at some point you've met these 6 types. Perhaps in darker seasons you've even embodied one. That's not weakness. That's being human. The danger isn't in the shadow, it's in refusing to see it. Avoiding dangerous people isn't about judgment. It's about preservation. It's about knowing what's your sand, what belongs to someone else's unconscious. The Stoic seeks clarity, not blame. Strength, not silence. Awareness, not avoidance. So ask yourself, which of these types have you encountered? And more importantly, are any of them hiding within you? If this video spoke to something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below sharing your experience, and subscribe to Stoic Blend for more content that helps you sharpen your mind and reclaim your peace. Your journey to inner freedom begins with one decision: see clearly, stand firmly, and walk away when needed.